This is going to be my first injection that I'm doing on myself at home, unsupervised. But I just wanted to go through the steps with you when you're doing the intramuscular injection in your thigh. I put clean paper towels on a little stool. Make sure you have a clean area, preferably close to a sink. That's why I chose to be in the bathroom. Get all your supplies ready. Remember that the bottle, the testosterone itself is light sensitive, so always make sure you have it in its little container or somewhere in the dark. But I'm opening this up because I will be using it, so it's not going to harm anybody right now. I got these fancy band-aids and everything. I got one that I'm doing now. I'll be doing emojis, and it's going to be the heart, little circle band-aid, and you can get them fairly cheap, ranging like $2 to $4 at your local pharmacy or whatever. My syringe and needle, and luckily my mother works at a hospital, so I can get alcohol pads and stuff like that fairly easy for me. Before anything, you always wash your hands, and because my mother's been working at a hospital for almost 20 years, I know how to wash my hands, unfortunately, very thoroughly, which I recommend you do before every injection anyway. Get a decent amount, lots of friction in between the fingers, on the tops of the hands, and around the wrist, and then you can rinse. Be careful what you touch, obviously, after washing your hands. You might want to use your elbows to shut the sink off so you're not contaminating anything. You want to use something clean to dry your hands off with that you don't have to touch to get in contact with something, that's got germs. Make sure you're good. Alright, so first thing that I recommend, I made this mistake, you don't always have two hands. Pre-unopen everything first. Because I made that mistake and the nurse had to open my band-aid for me, open the needle case thing for me, so just have it open for you to reach. This has a cap on it, so I can put this aside somewhere. I'll have that there. Get my band-aid. You want to open the band-aid, just make sure nothing is exposed that's supposed to be touching the needle site, I should say. You want to make sure that it's already open so you can just grab it. I got my 2 alcohol swabs, and this is a brand new bottle, so it has a cap on it. I gotta take off. It's almost like an insulin bottle. It has a little screen and you stick the needle in. So what you want to do, I'm not even gonna bother picking that one up.
It's
for
not
safety
that.
reasons. You don't want to do that. Make sure you rub hard, press down hard, and you rub vigorously for about 10 seconds to ensure that it is thoroughly cleaned. You want to make sure you actually can feel that rubber center, like you're actually touching it. I'm going to get another alcohol pad out because I need to prep the area I am going to do the injection in. And I lost that one. I'm not going to touch it because it fell on the floor. But first, it's time to get the dose in the syringe. I'm doing 50 milligrams. This is 100 milligrams per mil. This is a 3 mil syringe, but I'm only going to be doing half a mil because I do a 50 milligrams. Each mil is going to carry 100 milligrams, so I'm doing half a mil. So you want to actually draw back with air your dosage on the needle, and then stick it in, flip it upside down, and push the air inside. And then you can do your dose. There may be air pockets. They're not harmful, but This is really difficult. It's new and it's got like a big suction, but you want to pull. If you got air, you pull even further. It's snapping right back up on me. Very strange. Well, this is something that you might actually expect to happen. There's a suction here, and it's drawing it up, and I'm not getting all of it out. So I just keep pulling down and pushing up until it's reaching that halfway point. If you go above, you know, you can always just push it back into the bottle. So if you go past your dose, just push it. There we go. And that's set aside. I'm gonna cap it. I'm not sure if you should or not. This is not gonna leak, so you can put that down sideways. Okay, I guess you can't put it back on the bottle once it's off. So I will put it back in the box right away. I don't want anything getting on it, accidentally falling. Now you need to prep the area. I did my right leg the last time, so now I'm going back to the left. You can see I still have Band-Aid marks from the last time. You need to make sure your foot is planted flat, your feet aren't dangling off of a surface. With this, it's fairly easy to choose a spot. You can put your hand right here where your knee starts in this spot, and then where the hip is right here, that space in between, you have that space right there, and then avoid the inner area because that's where the arteries and all the bad stuff you want to stay away from are. So you want to typically choose this spot over here where you can feel that muscle. I always stretch it out first and flex it to feel the muscle there, the chunkiest part, and then I find my spot. And then I can do that, just do the injection. You can also go like this and choose from like knuckle to fingers on this area within this space. Do a little bit more like around than just the spot, just to make sure the whole area is clean, not just like a small square where you decide to put the needle. Okay, so I've washed my hands, I haven't touched anything, so I think I'm safe to be able to feel for a spot anyway. Alright, make sure your hand is in a 90-degree angle, and make sure it's straight down. Before you do the injection, to ensure that the needle is actually going into the muscle, you have to pull the skin so that way it flattens it out and it can go straight in. Hold the skin down the entire time until you pull it out, and then you release. You may feel a little twitch. It depends. Sometimes the direction you put the needle in, it will do a little tweak. Don't be nervous. It could just be in the area you chose. You can always experiment and next time do a different area. And then go. Do it at a decent, steady pace to push. This is a really tight, and you pull out in the same angle you pushed it in. luckily I had no twitches. I do have a lot of anxiety right now.
And I feel nauseous.
And my pretty little heart is going to be my new Band-Aid for my shot at home.